Hi everyone, Lisa Haven here. Well, it's finally happening. Thousands of doctors and epidemiologists and scientists are now coming out against Anthony Fauci and his draconian lockdown measures. This is really huge, folks, because this is something that I've been stating on my channel since back in January when we had this pandemic breakout. I have been saying that these lockdown measures, the quote cure for COVID, the lockdowns, the mandates, and all the stuff that they've been putting on us is doing nothing but causing more harm than good. And I've proved this with our economy tanking, with our massive food lines, with people starving. I showed a report by the United Nations where 130 million people, and now it's up to 240 million people that are going to starve as a result of this pandemic. That's millions of lives, as opposed to what with COVID-19? What are we at, 1 million globally? And now, thankfully, doctors are beginning to speak out against this. Let me go just take you straight to the source because you guys have to see this thing. And that's not all. Not only are doctors calling out, but I've got a chart to show you in regards to mask that's literally going to drop your jaw to the floor. But there's only so much I can say here on YouTube. I'll leave the rest for restrictedrepublic.com. But here we are, humansarefree.com. I love that name of that website. But anyway, world's top epidemiologists expose or oppose Fauci and call for an end to these lockdown measures. 3 of the world's top epidemiologists are going public to contradict Dr. Fauci and other doctor politicians who are calling for renewed lockdowns over the coronavirus. Now, this is 3, but I'm going to show you thousands in just a moment. But here's the 3 doctors. You can see where they're at, what university they're from there. But they were interviewed by Laura Ingraham on Fox News. And during that interview, they're basically calling for the end of the lockdown measures, and people who are not at risk, like your younger generation, they should be allowed out in the public and open to work on herd immunity, while the elderly, they take precautions. And this is exactly everything that I've been stating on my channel all along. But on top of these leading epidemiologists, who, by the way, worked with Dr. Atlas on the COVID task force there to get this information out and put it together, not only are they making light and exposing the corruption of Anthony Fauci, who's been wrong, by the way. One day he wants to say masks are bad, and the next he says they're good. I mean, give me a break. This guy hasn't got his numbers right. But thousands of doctors are now coming out. Take a look at this. This is the Great Barrington Declaration. Now, this is the declaration that was signed by, right now, 13,000 epidemiologists, doctors, and scientists who have signed on to this thing. And it's just literally growing daily. But it says, as an infectious disease epidemiologist and public health scientist, we have grave concerns about the damaging physical and mental impacts of prevailing COVID-19 policies and recommend an approach we call focused protection, basically protecting the most vulnerable. And I agree with them 100%. But you can see medical and public health scientists here, 4,654 signatures, and medical practitioners, 8,681, and then just the general public. This is an amazing declaration, but it says, coming from both the left and the right and around the world, we have devoted our careers to protecting people. Current lockdown policies are producing devastating effects on short and long-term health. The results, to name a few, include lower child vaccine rates, worsening cardiovascular disease, fewer cancer screenings, and deteriorating mental health, leading to greater excess mortality in the years to come, with the working class and younger members of society carrying the heaviest burden. Keeping students out of school is a grave injustice. In other words, just like the Great Depression took millions of lives, it's estimated about 7 million lives, because due to things like stress, anxiety, and fear that build in a person's life, this caused people to have more diseases like heart attacks and strokes and stress-related issues, mental health problems, thus making a massive burden on the healthcare system and causing more people to die as a result all around. And this is exactly what we're seeing today. They've got people so afraid that they're not even going to the hospital to get certain surgeries. I mean, this is above and beyond. And we're talking about a virus with a 99.6 survival rate. Let me show you. And I didn't pull this one up, but I'm going to pull it up here because I think this is an important chart to show you. And I took a picture of this. This is Guy Phillips. I'm going to have him on the channel this weekend. He is running for city council in Scottsdale. By the way, you guys are going to love him. But he put out this tweet, and it's accurate with the CDC. It says COVID-19 survival rates per the CDC as of the week of September 28th. This is what they published. Ages 0 to 19, you literally have no chance, very, very, very slim, of dying of COVID. 99.997, which is 50 times better than the seasonal flu. Then you have ages 20 to 24. 99.98%. That's 10 times better than the seasonal flu. So if you're under 49, you've got more of a chance of dying from the flu than you do of COVID-19. That's what that means. Ages 50 to 69, you've got a 99.5% survival rate, which is 7 times better than the swine flu, which we didn't lock down anything for, by the way. Then we have ages 70 and over, 94.6%, equal to SARS. We didn't lock down the country and wear mask mandates when we had SARS, yet COVID-19 death rate for 70 and older is equal to SARS. What the hell are we doing, right? I mean, this is why we have leading ophthalmologists speaking out. They see that data, and then they see what's happening and how fearful the public is and how they're not getting in to do their cancer screenings or regular screenings and all of that. So people are literally dying in their homes, but not necessarily because of COVID, because they're literally that freaked out. But lots of great information, and I'll include this in the description box below, but I want to show you this chart. I'm just going to scroll through it, but it's a chart showing when they introduced mask mandates and what happened after they introduced those mandates per county. As this one's Israel and Sweden, right? This orange line here represents Sweden throughout all of these charts, right? But I'm going to scroll through them because there's not much I can say here. And for more information on that, you're going to have to sign up on Restricted Republic, because this is YouTube, a censored platform, by the way. And by the way, Restricted Republic's got a 14-day free trial, so you can try it out. But there you go. I'm just going to put that right there for the average public. But the average person doesn't know that because the information is censored all over the internet, right? And so here's West Virginia here, mask mandate. You see what happens. Mississippi, hey, there's one good one there. But anyway, there you go. So with that, get on over to Restricted Republic. That's all I'm going to say there. All right. So meanwhile, what's going on after these doctors are speaking out, after we have literally 13,000 ophthalmologists, doctors, scientists speaking out, what's going on? Well, the CDC is flip-flopping. Here's shftplan.com. CDC changes its mind yet again. COVID-19 can sometimes be airborne. I think everybody realizes it's, airborne. Like, I don't know. Anyway, moving on. As a result of the CDC being flip-floppy and all these mandates, we now have people literally calling for the re-education of anti-maskers. No, I'm not joking. Here's a tweet that I put out, but it was in regards to Chris Hayes, right? And he says, the most humane and reasonable way to deal with all these people as in anti-maskers is, if we survive this, is some kind of truth and Reconciliation Commission. Whew. He's the host of All In with Chris on MSNBC, by the way, but you could see masks don't work here, but he's literally calling for some kind of re-education commission for the public, because we're not brainwashed goons giving in to your every sway. So you have to, re-educate us. I just like to see the science that says it prevents or stops COVID. Where is it? Good question. But anyway, moving on a little bit. And that's the thing. Doctors and stuff, when they wear masks, they change them out. They're not going to touch their face, take them off to eat, put them back on, take them off when you walk, put them back on, set them on the counter. No. That's like a contaminated rag. And we're putting these contaminated rags back in our mouth, which is exactly what Anthony Fauci said before he went 50, changed his mind completely. But hey. And see, even doctors and nurses and all of that know it. But what else is going on? Well, here's a report on RT News. Round up the anti-vaxxers. Whoa. Enlist religious leaders to do it. Bill Gates warns the United States needs to brainstorm ways to reduce vaccine hesitancy. In other words, eliminate freedom of speech online. You can't say one word on vaccines, Restricted Republic, but you're not allowed. So speak against it, say anything bad, it's time to round you up, folks. Time to round you up. This is an RT article. Now, I don't think he said that directly. Bill Gates did not say that directly, but it's kind of like the idea, well, what else are you going to do with them, right? If they're not obedient and listening, you're going to force it? God, I hope not, because now we're crossing into massive tyrannical area. And I think America would stand up against that one. I don't know. I'm a bit of a loss after seeing what happened with COVID-19. And then Bill Gates, of course, wants to keep you on lockdowns, wants to keep you on mandates, wants to keep you on drugs and vaccines until the end of 2020. I said that back in December of last year. I said, they don't want 15 days to slow the bread, folks. They don't even want 30 days. They want up to 2 years. And now we're going on 7-8 months into this lockdown nightmare. And I talk to the average public, and the average public is like, oh yeah, I'm tired of these mask mandates now. I'm tired of these. Well, are you going to do anything about it? Do something about it? Or comply, right? And that's why I continue to speak out on a daily basis. I don't know about you, but that's insanity, 2021. And you think it's going to end then? Good luck, because now they already have everything set in stone. You think these businesses are going to revamp everything that they've already done? Because these businesses know there's more pandemics and they're going to do this again. So those regulations end up around and sticking around. This is the terrifying concept of it. And as a result, millions of people are being affected, folks. The more that we do these mandates and measures and lockdowns and requirements and all of that, we're literally hindering our immune systems, by the way, right? We need germs to survive. So what happens when some of these go away? I think there's going to be a lot more sick people, not necessarily from COVID, but from all kinds of things, right? But meanwhile, we're having millions of people suffer with their jobs and with food and all of that. And I see a food crisis underway where millions of people could die as a result, as internationally speaking, not necessarily here in America. We've already cut off a lot of the gratuity that we give to Africa and other countries, South America. And they're suffering, folks. They're really suffering. And this is on the Economic Collapse blog. It's being projected that there can be an 8 billion meal shortage at America's food banks over the next 12 months. If there's a shortage in our food banks, where are those people going to get their food, folks? Just going to throw that out there. Anyhow, I wanted to give you all of that information and just remind you, please don't forget to check out my partner at noblegoldinvestments.com. As you know, they are giving away this American Eagle coin there that you just saw on the screen, but here it is here too. And this is with any qualified IRA, but I really enjoy this. And right now, you really want to get into something a little more solid economically speaking, because we have no idea where everything's going to go when the crap with the dollar and all that hit the fan. So check them out at noblegoldinvestments.com. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. YouTube is unsubscribing en masse. Anyhow, I love all of you. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.